The chocolate dropper, 262, got qualified. Air mattress traveler. The saddle lickers, the 2-meter tall bear to defend himself. Robbery happened at a yakitori store. Poop thrower. And welcome back on Ask Japanese. This is your reporter, Kathy Cat speaking. Today, breaking news, just in. We are going to talk about 7 very strange incidents that made the news here in Japan. We're curious to find out, so let's go head on and start off with number 1. The chocolate dropper. Now, as you know, Valentine's Day in Japan is celebrated slightly differently from the West, meaning girls do actually generally not get anything on Valentine's Day in Japan, meaning girls are the only ones who have to do something for the guys, and generally it is the exchange of chocolate. Should be Valentine's chocolate. There are different types. There is the Honmei choco, which means the true feeling choco that only one person gets. There's the giri choco that other people will get. And all kinds of tomo choco, chocolate for friends, and similar things like that. Now, we don't know whether this was Honmei choco, giri choco, or tomo choco, but all the passengers at Osaka Station 2014, 6:30, were not very amused when all their trains stopped because of chocolate. And that was because one of the passengers had dropped their very precious Valentine chocolate right on the train tracks. Now, you will be glad to know that the chocolate came out all right. The chocolate survived. The station staff safely retrieved the chocolate all right. There hasn't been any harm done to the chocolate. There are no news about whether it was still edible or not. Now, this might be a chocolate conspiracy, as on the same day at 2:24, earlier to that incident in Yokohama, all trains had to stop. And again, someone had dropped the chocolate on the train tracks. Not sure if this is going to be a trend, but guys and girls, hold on tight to that chocolate. Don't let it go. Next, sport. February 5th, 2017, a marathon made the news. Now, this marathon was supposed to be for elementary school children. Why did it make the news, however? Well, the contestants were it was 263 participants that took part in this elementary school marathon, which was held after the grown-up marathon, so they had a specific route. However, 262 got qualified. Only one made it through and all the way to the goal. Now, the reason for that being was the marathon for the adults was held on a similar course, and the elementary school course was supposed to be shortened. However, the staff made a mistake. Loads of the kids ran a super short route, which meant the wrong route, meaning only the last one, the last kid who was running, still trying to make this marathon, hating it. Damn, I'm last. Oh, no, behind me the staff is already. This is like the worst day ever. Oh, the staff is telling me to go left? I thought everyone's going right. All right, I'm gonna go left then. Only that kid made the race, because that kid did not get disqualified because it actually went down the right path for the marathon. So sometimes it's not all about speed. Sometimes the very last one can make the race. Next, weather, or the story of the air mattress traveler. Now, we are expecting some stronger winds and also some stronger waves. So this person here, 2014, who was traveling on a little air mattress, made the news. So in Kanagawa, a university student hopped on top of an air mattress with just a long stick to push himself off, and pushed himself. There are a couple of little islands just far away from Kanagawa, and he planned to reach the nearby one, called Najima Island, on his air mattress from the shore of Kanagawa. Now, he was only using a little pole to push himself through the water, and then he realized, once he got further away from the shore, the water got deeper, so there wasn't anything to push himself anymore on his little air mattress. The wind and the waves did their job, and they pushed and pulled and carried him 500 meters right into the ocean. That's when he realized he messed up. So this lucky dude had a phone, and he phoned rescue services. His rescue mission took 12 rescuers and 1 boat to pull him and his tiny little air mattress back up to safety. This guy was 19 and he was part of the university's adventure club. So this adventure spirit definitely didn't go so well, made the news, probably hugely embarrassing, or maybe he was the new hero of his university. We'll never know. The Saddle Lickers. これ真剣な顔で言えない? We're coming to crime news, especially the saddle licker incidents. Now, 2020, in March, which is this year, a 57-year-old man made the news. He had stolen bicycle saddles. Now, did he steal 8? Did he steal 500? No. He stole 5,800 bicycle saddles. They found them all. He had rented a specific storage room in which he stored his bicycle saddles. The guy was given the reason that he had been very, very stressed at work. He started stealing those bicycle seats and then he could not stop. He was a truck driver, so he came around, was driving around a lot. He would know where all the bicycles were, and so he started his bicycle collection. This incident, it reminded people of August 2013. On the 24th, a 35-year-old man was arrested. He was stealing not as many. He only stole 2,000 bicycle saddles. That's 2,000 people without their bicycle saddles. But he was a man of distinct taste. He didn't just steal any bicycle saddles for his collection. Nuh-uh. He only stole bicycle saddles of young girls and women. Yes. So when he was arrested, he was asked, why did he do it? Why was he doing it? Well, he didn't steal it because he was angry because of his job. He just stated in an official statement that he liked the smell and liked licking the bicycle seats. Now, imagine the Japanese newscasters being very serious and trying to read out his statement in the news. So during that time, all the casters who had to read out his statement looked kind of troubled on TV at the same time. And that was the incident of the saddle licker. We stay with sport and the story of the karate master. 2016, September 1st, a gentleman had to be put into hospital. Now, this is not a usual story. What had happened? This gentleman in the Gunma prefecture was actually the survivor of a bear attack. Now, this happens sometimes in Japan, especially in the very rural areas. This man was 63 years old. Now, the 63-year-old man had been peacefully fishing when suddenly a bear jumped out of a bush near him. And this is said to be what happened. Just 5 meters in a bush away from the old gentleman, a bear jumped out and came at the man. The 63-year-old man is like 1.70 meters, so he's not very tall. The bear is 2 meters tall. So the bear goes and the 63-year-old man starts trying to grab his head, his arm, his legs, trying to bite and just attack him. Don't know if he felt threatened in his environment. However, the 63-year-old man was not a usual 63-year-old man. He was actually a karate master. And so he used his karate skills as a form of self-defense. He tried headlocks, he tried certain karate moves on the 2-meter-tall bear to defend himself. In the end, he managed to attack the eye of the bear in an attack, and the bear ran away. So usually this would have been a decided game with any normal 63-year-old man fishing in the forest and the bear attacking him, but it turned out that this man survived. He got brought into the hospital with some minor injuries that healed after 2 weeks. At the beginning, the man said to the media, "Please do not release my name, just call me the Karate Master." Actually, later, people managed to finally convince him to come on camera, and there are actually videos of him explaining how it happened. So yeah, 63-year-old and good to go. Keep up those karate skills, guys. We continue here with more news about crimes and similar. So in 2013, in December, a very peculiar robbery happened at a yakitori store. Now, yakitori is pretty much chicken on a stick. You put lots of little bits of chicken on a stick and you fry it over fire, have it usually with a little bit of a drink and colleagues. Now, however, what happened at that one store is a masked man came in. He was wearing a mask, he was wearing sunglasses, and he pulled a knife on the staff, telling the knife to hand over all their cash. However, what made this robbery so peculiar is that the staff looked at the armed robber in front of him and said, "Tencho?" Which means, "Boss? Is that you?" Turns out, it was the boss of the actual yakitori place. So, he took off his mask and sunglasses and said, "Beware of burglars," and then left the store. The staff, and as well as the customers on that night, were very confused. But this is not how the story ends. On the next day, the boss phoned the police and said money had been stolen, nevertheless. So the police investigated the situation, and it ended with the yakitori owner being arrested. Now, what happened in between that? After this very, very peculiar circumstance, a lot of things came to light. Because he had phoned the police went to investigate his business. And it turned out that he had embezzled 600,000 yen. He didn't know how to hide the fact that this money of his business was missing and thought to use some kind of robbery or burglary as a reason to justify the loss of money. However, by him doing all of these things and pretending to be a robber and phoning about a robber, he actually drew attention to the whole issue. It came out to light, and so his chicken isn't frying anymore right now. NEXT! And final news we have in 2009, in August 16th in Osaka Prefecture, we had the incident of the poop thrower. Now in Japan, a couple of crimes get justified by people saying, "I was very, very stressed at work." And such was the same reason that this man gave for his unusual crime that he committed. A 39-year-old man was driving on his motorcycle down the road, and when he saw a woman walk down the road, he had an item prepared in his hand and threw it at her. And it turned out it was his freshly prepared, still slightly warm, poop. He threw poop at people. And he did not do this only once, he did it twice in the same day. After that, he realized he'd done a crime. He realized he probably wasn't able to get away from this crime. And he actually went to the police to turn himself in. He had freshly prepared both poop right beforehand to carry it on his bike, to throw it at random women on the street. It weren't people he knew, just anyone would have done, apparently. So, yeah. On the 16th at 3 o'clock, he turned himself in. So just one day after he actually did it, right on the next day, he went and turned himself in. And his reason for having done the crime was, "I've been so stressed at work." Japan remains a fairly safe country. There is a lot less violent crimes, and Tokyo is generally ranked as one of the most safest cities in the world. However, some crimes like these happen around Japan from time to time, from panty stealers to saddle lickers to poop throwers that make the special news here in Japan, but they're definitely not a common thing. I hope though you enjoyed these types of news. Let me know which one was your favorite, or are there any funny or peculiar crimes in your country that you know of? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It would be lovely to have you here on the Ask Japanese team. Give us a like, because that is just a way of showing thanks for making this content. And I'll catch you soon for more stuff here on Ask Japanese. This was Kat the Cat from Ask Japanese.